Liberty, lovely to meet you. And
You as
thank you. Thank you for your time today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. Well, I mean, I've been lucky enough to see the first episode of the Syndicate, and we've got exotic places and dogs. So there is not really a not to like about the show, is there? But what instantly struck me was that the storyline just hooks you straight away, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that was part of Kay's idea with the whole going to Monaco this time and kind of doing the story a little bit different. Because in previous syndicates, it's been about they've won the money and then the friendships kind of grow apart. And then it's kind of them coming back together. Whereas this time it's like the cat and mouse game of have they actually won the money and is the ticket theirs? And they go on this adventure to kind of find out have they won. And so I think that's kind of the fresh take on it, and so yeah, it really does grab you in.
And what's great as well, that what Kay's done with the writing, the characters are so relatable, aren't they? They could be your next door neighbor, they could be your friend, and they are that. Was that something that attracted you as well to taking the role, because those parts were so relatable?
Yeah, I mean, Kay's writing is always really relatable. I think that's kind of what her goal is, and I love that. And for me, Gemma was really relatable to myself, because when I first read the script, it was 22, which I was at the time, and then she loves animals and loves dogs, which I'm obsessed. And then she lives with her grandma, and I had this special connection to going back to England to take care of my grandma when she had cancer. And so there was all these like little characteristics. And then, in the breakdown, I said she was from Hull, which is, I'm from near Hull as well. So there was all these little characteristics about Gemma that just instantly connected me to her. And then obviously Kay's writing is just very
sublime.
So that was easy to connect with as well.
It was a no-brainer. And
Yeah.
I mean, you probably can't say too much about it, but the beauty of the part that you've got, she's got this kind of huge backstory, hasn't she? So for the whole kind of arc of your character throughout the series and that motivation, it must be such a gift for you as an actor to have a part like that.
Yeah, it is. I'm so scared to say anything. I've got this whole list of like spoilers I can't say. I've got, I mean, on the surface, we see Gemma, she's like this sweet, lovable girl who's just this innocent girl, and the audience hopefully will just, see her and connect with her and just think, oh, she's this like sweet girl. And then, as the story progresses, we see that she's this really angry person inside. And in episode 6, we see why, and that kind of all comes to a head. And I'm really excited that I was kind of able to play both sides of that and develop the whole layers of her. That was really, Kay is really great about developing three-dimensional characters, because in a lot of shows, you only kind of see one side of a character, whereas Kay gives every character this whole three-dimensional story. And so, yeah, it was really great.
I mean, for you as an actor, I mean, long form storytelling is, the drama that you can get from that, because you've got more time to watch and to see the characters evolve and explore different facets of their personality. It must be, again, like a real gift for you as an actor to have that time really to devote to the character, which you don't normally get, say, in film.
Yeah, no, it was a lot more time to be able to develop her from the ground up. And this was my first time as a series regular, and so I was able to have that time. I've only ever come in, for like Grey's Anatomy or Criminal Minds, and just been like a supporting person there to help tell the story, whereas this time it was like I was the story. So it was great to be able to develop her, and every little nuance I wanted to have about her, and every little thing like that. And then also, because of COVID, we had more time than we thought we were going to, which never ever get, whether it's television or film or anything. So yeah, I felt like I had almost too much time, like I was over analyzing everything. So I had to like stop myself. And then obviously the scripts changed from, we were originally going to go to Las Vegas, and then it changed to Monaco. So I had all these scripts like, annotated and labeled and everything. And then when it changed to Monaco, I was like, do I do all this again, or do I just kind of know the work in my head?
And because you were shooting, weren't you, during lockdown? how, I would imagine then that you're working much more closely with your peers, your sort of scene partners. So how did that help your relationship and um the ensemble really? Did it kind of bring you even closer together to, which then creates even better magic on screen?
Yeah, it did, because normally, when you're filming something, when you're not on set, you go home, or you go to see a family, or when you're on location like that. And we weren't allowed to do that because of COVID. So we were all staying in the same apartments. So on our days off, we didn't leave because we were so scared that we were going to be the ones to catch COVID. And so we would just hang out with each other in each other's apartments. So we actually got to know each other on a personal like basis. And so we became friends, and that helped us on set. And I think Kay saw that as well, that we were becoming friends. And so she would add little things into the scenes. And yeah, I think it did help. I mean, I hope that shows on screen. And I mean, we actually genuinely became so close that we would be like, messing around with each other on set and bickering, and like, and it was just became genuine friendship, and we still, talk to each other today. So yeah, I gained some great friends.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. I mean, again, that's kind of the gift of it, really, isn't it? And
Yeah.
Kay is also one of the directors. So, what's it like for you working with, the writer and the creator, and then, she's directing you as well? Did that give you more kind of, that support really, because she knows the text better than anybody?
Yeah, it did. It was nerve-wracking at first. But then obviously I was very, like, as soon as I stepped on set, she was just, made me feel so calm and welcome. So there's nothing to be nervous about. But yeah, it did, because she was there to, answer any questions that we had as actors about the character or the scene. And she knew exactly what she wanted. So if there was a take and she didn't like it, you knew, and we were doing it again. And I love that, because I would rather someone be 100% happy with what we have than feel like, oh no, it was not okay, or yeah. So she knew exactly what she wanted, and I absolutely love working with her. I mean, let's be real, she's the boss at everything. And so yeah, I loved working with her.
And they say don't work with children and animals, and you're working with animals. You
Yeah.
said you're an animal lover, so that must have been a dream as well. Lots of
Yeah.
fun on set there.
Yeah, I mean, I said to Kate, when I first met her, I said, if I get this role, you'll find me with the dogs. Like, if you ever need me on set, you'll find me with dogs. And that was true. I was constantly with the dogs, and they were like crazy to work with, and it was an experience for sure. And then we had to replace them with sandbags at some times, and like do some dog acting at sometimes. But yeah, it was unreal. I think I have like hundreds of photos with these dogs on my phone. And then we had to entice them with treats and everything. But no, it was an experience. I would change that quote. I would say always work with dogs, because it was fun.
And this is your debut working in the UK. You've worked on big shows like Grey's Anatomy. So how does that compare to working in the UK and that kind of work ethic?
Um, it's Grey's Anatomy is like, it's so hard to compare it to, because it's such a well-oiled machine. I mean, it was going out 14 seasons at the time that I was on the show. So, and they're just cranking out scripts, every week, and they're just, it's like a well-oiled roller coaster. And so, I mean, it's so hard to answer this question, because it's like, to compare it to that, it's just so different. I mean, we had so much time on this show, like we've just talked about, and so yeah, there's many differences. I think one of the main differences, though, that I found, which is so little, is like the terminology that was used on set, because I was so used to the American, even though I'm so British at heart and everything, it's like the terminology that was used on set in America was like, I was so used to that. And so coming into a UK set, little like words that were used, and terminologies, I was like always asking my friend Emily Head, who plays Colette. I was like, what's that mean? Like, what in the American, because she's worked in America as well. So it's like, what does that compare to? So yeah, just like little things like that.
And finally, really, what have you learnt by working on the show that you would tell yourself for your next show, or to inspire aspiring actors? What have you learned that you could share with us, really?
Oh, so much. I honestly feel like I've learned the most I've ever learned out of any job from this one, or any class, any acting class or anything like that. I feel like I've learned more on the job, and just from Kay, from Neil, from the other actors. Not only did I feel like I grew as a performer, but I grew like as a person. You know, I'm only 24, so this is the first time, you know, I was like on my own and like traveling on my own. So I can't really pinpoint, you know, one thing that I have learned, because it's just so many little like life lessons and things like that. But I mean, I would just say, hopefully, you know, I can keep learning through more roles, and I would just say to people, keep going and keep going.
That just could be tenacious and never give up, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Liberty, thank you very much indeed, and best of luck with the show.
Oh,
Take
thank you
care.
so much.